Hello again, beautiful artists, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Skye. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Skye and I post beginning level acrylic painting tutorials here on YouTube every Saturday. So make sure to hit subscribe so you can join the fun and paint along, and don't forget to hit that bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. Okay, so happy holidays, artists. It's my favorite time of year, and I have some more ornaments for us to paint this week. I have these two gorgeous wood slices that I'm going to be painting on. You can turn these into ornaments, or they also make really great little mini paintings as gifts. I'm just going to be using two brushes today, so one small and one sort of medium-sized pointed brush. I'm going to get those in my water cup off the side of the screen. The colors that I'm going to start with the background step, all I have here is white, a little bit of bright blue, some burnt sienna type warm brown, and just a small amount of yellow. If you'd like to see a full materials list with everything that you need to paint along, go ahead and check the description box below. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in with our background step. So really this could be any color that you like, but I'm going to do this little wood slice today as my wreath. I'm going to do a beige background here, and then I'm going to do a really simple little gradation from blue to a lighter blue on my other wood slice. I'm going to be using my medium-sized brush for this, and you can start really with whatever one you want. I'm going to do both backgrounds, then we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll do the foregrounds. So I'm gonna make a beige, and all I have to do here is just add a little bit of yellow into my brown and then add some white. Okay, I'm gonna have this nice sort of basic beige, and I'm just gonna come in here. It kind of accentuates the color of the wood, in my opinion. And I'm just going to fill this in with some texture. And I'm gonna kind of put the beige on there and then come back with some white. And it's gonna be kind of a play in between those just to get a nice little textured background here rather than having it just be one solid color. A little bit of water, always in the acrylic paint, helps it go nice and smooth. Now I'm going to take this color all the way to the edge of just like the flat wood part, rather than bringing it all the way off the edge of the like bark area, if that makes sense. And you can see a little bit closer there. And what you want to do is get all those brush strokes going the same direction. But of course, when you're going along the outside edge here, you might need to have kind of that smooth brush stroke. But then you're going to come back over it and create some more texture. Okay, we're working pretty quickly because acrylic paint does dry pretty fast. So it's always going to be a matter of layering for us, but we do want to get a little bit of texture in there while the paint is still wet. All right, I tried a couple different colors for this background. I did a purple one and I did a green one. I felt like the green was too much green because it had the green wreath later. And then the purple, I just felt like it was a little bit too dark. So I decided to go with this beige today, and hopefully that will look nice. I decided to kind of go, with the wood color. But really any background color that you like, I think would be great. I almost did that aqua blue color that I have in a lot of paintings. It's one of my favorite colors. But sometimes I find that my students are a little bit intimidated by using the real bright colors, and it's not everyone's style. So I did a nice neutral for my sort of neutral toned painters out there. So let me know what you thought about my color choice in the comments below, and just kind of getting a little bit more texture there up into the edges, and just kind of messing it back up so that it doesn't just look like one solid color. All right, it's looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna do a little bit more white. All right, looks pretty good. Very natural wood slice color there. Gonna place him aside to dry. And let's get started on our second little slice. This is a 2-for-1 class today. I'm gonna start just with blue as it is. And I'm gonna do the same thing where I go right along the edge of that flat wood, but not into the bark. I'm gonna go probably about 1/3 of the way around my little slice here. And then I'm going to get these brush strokes going back and forth. This might be a little bit tricky, but give it a try. It's just one color to a lighter color. So this is really like acrylic blending for beginners. We don't need to blend the colors together. And it can be a little bit streaky, that's fine. So now I'm gonna add a little bit of white to that blue, and I'm gonna start bringing that towards the center and a little bit into that dark blue as well. And you're gonna get this nice little blend, again, working very quickly with this acrylic paint as it dries even faster on these wood slices than it does on canvas, I've noticed. Really soaks into the wood texture. So again, I'm allowing my brush to kind of go along the circular edge there, but then I'm gonna come back over to get all those brush strokes going the consistent direction. And it's possible that your dark blue is maybe already dry, so you might need to add some more blue right on top of that little transition area to help you blend one color into the other. All right, and then in my bottom third here, I'm just gonna take another scoop of white and create a beautiful light sky blue color. So pretty, very wintry. We're just doing a nice little gradation for our winter sky here. And again, just going along the shape as close as I can, as neatly as possible with these small paintings. You gotta be careful. See, I went a little bit over, right? As I said that, a little over the edge. All right, and then I'm gonna bring my light blue up to meet my medium blue and blend that transition as well. All right, and again, this paint is drying very quickly today on this wood background, so a little bit more of the medium blue helps me bring that down into the light blue. There we go. And it doesn't need to be perfect. I just want to get the suggestion of that gradation going. Very nice. Okay, let's go ahead now and let these dry, which won't take long. And I'll see everyone in a few minutes, all right? Okay, welcome back, artists. We have dry backgrounds here, and I also got some fresh colors on my piece of palette paper. So I once again have a little bit of that vibrant blue. I have some dark forest green, a bright cadmium red, and then black and white. I rinsed my brushes and got clean water at break as well. Okay, let's jump right back into it. I'm going to grab my small brush now. We're going to be doing a lot more of these small details with a tiny little brush. And I'm going to start in my really cute little snow flurry one, and I'm going to mix up a light blue. Okay, so this is going to be sort of like a medium light blue. And I'm going to create 2 swirls here kind of in the center of my little composition. And that one was pretty light, so you almost can't see it. So I'm gonna go over it real quick with just one shade brighter, like so. And then we're gonna take that light blue and just add a few kind of swirly brush strokes on either side of those main swirls to create what I think this is sort of like wind. Okay, so like a little blustery snow flurry carrying those snowflakes. So I'm kind of allowing some brush strokes to be more on the blue side and more on the side of white. Okay, but this is still kind of an in-between layer, so it's going to be sort of covered up. All right. And if you go too heavy-handed in any place, you can go ahead and just add some more light blue right back on top. All right, just a little bit, almost like waves. Very pretty. I'll probably tilt that slightly so that it's not quite so centered, just for fun. I don't know why. All right, now I'm gonna put that aside for just a second and let that dry for half a minute, then work on my wreath. Now, you're gonna need to find something circular in your house, or you can just totally freehand a circle. That's up to you. And what I did though is I'm just using the top of like a to-go coffee cup and I'm just gonna use that to create a circle for myself here on my wood slice. And I'm gonna do this with a light green, so green and white together. And acrylic paint is water-based and non-toxic, so it'll be okay to wash my coffee cup lid later. All right, and that should just give me just a really faint outline of a nice circle, which will just make my process easier here as I move forward. Okay, a little cheat code there for us. Okay, now I'm actually going to start with like a medium green. So I'm gonna have just a tiny pinch of white in there, but mostly green. And I'm going to come along my circle with sort of like curved brush strokes on either side here, building the greenery of my wreath. Really helps to have that nice circle to go around. I'm gonna have the word joy written in the middle of my wreath today, so I wanted to make sure that I came far enough out towards the edge with my wreath. So my original, I mentioned I tried this a couple times, which was hard because there weren't very many of these ornament blanks at the store, so painted a couple sides a couple times of one of these guys and went too far in the first time and it just didn't look quite right. So you do want to come pretty far out to the edge here with the actual wreath shape. Okay, that looks good. I think I'll go ahead and do a darker green now. So I'm going to add just a tiny pinch of black into my solid green. Just really delicately. You want to have a noticeably darker green. I'm going to come in here and add some shadows. That's almost too dark. Don't want it all the way black. Kind of breaking up the shapes. This is sort of a stylized wreath, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Just kind of putting those overlapping green colors with that graceful brush stroke pattern, just like so. You might overlap some areas, whereas you also might sort of fill in new areas, and that's totally fine. It is not an exact science. You do want to make sure that you cover that original sketch line that you have. So we're almost getting like a loose braid coming together, I think. Now I'm going to grab a light green as the final color here. Very pretty and minty. And I'm just going to add some highlights throughout the whole wreath as well. So you should be able to see all three colors, not necessarily overlapping any one color too much. And feel free to go back and add any color that you think that you might need. Okay, really simple little quick wreath there. Okay, let's go ahead and let that dry now, and we're gonna switch back and finish off our snow flurry. So cute. Okay, so this is really simple. We have the majority of our work done already, and we're just gonna be adding a couple really simple snowflake shapes. So I'm gonna do one kind of over here in the dark blue area so that I have some nice contrast. And I'm gonna start with just like a plus sign, like so. Okay, and I am trying to be very delicate. Like a plus sign, just barely touching the surface. And then I'm going to have lines that come in between as well. I share this story sometimes and recently got some feedback that it was helpful. So when I was 5 years old and in my first painting class, they told us to pretend like we were painting on the back of a bug and that we didn't want to squish the little ladybug. So very, very, very delicate there. Don't squish the bug. No bug squishing. Okay, and then from the main, like 4 lines that come out of my original plus sign, I'm gonna do these additional little side lines like so. And that's really what's gonna make it look very snowflake-like. All right, I went a little bit too far on the end there, so I'm just gonna bring that a little bit further out, but that's okay. Every snowflake is unique. Perfect. Okay. Almost perfect. Okay. I just wanna have it be somewhat even. All right, that looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna do the same kind of thing on the other side here, but I'm going to have a slightly different snowflake. Okay, so you don't necessarily need to follow my exact steps here. I think I'll use these ones as the sort of main up and down lines. That was on the same kind of angle as before, and I actually kind of want to mix it up. Okay, so for these ones, I'm going to have just straight lines cutting off the end there. And there we have 2 super cute little snowflake shapes. How easy is that? And then we're just going to add a few little snow flurries throughout the entire composition. And there we have an adorable little snowstorm ornament. How simple, right? I like the way that one turned out. I think it's super cute. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish off with our wreath. Very easy. So I'm gonna add a really cute bow to my wreath with some red. Just red as it is. And this can kind of be anywhere. You gotta decide where you want the top to be. I think I'm gonna go from right about here. I'm just gonna do a little oval that goes right on top of my green. And then I'll have 2 sides of my bow here and little tails coming down like so. All right. Just thickening that up a little bit like it's a nice big ribbon. I'm gonna take a little bit of white and just tap that right in the middle and kind of accentuate the sides here as well, just creating a really subtle little highlight on each little area there of the bow. And if you go too heavy-handed, again, you can always just add some more red right back on top. All right, super simple, doesn't need to be too fancy. Okay, I'm gonna add a couple of holly berries as well. Of course, gotta have the holly berries on our wreath. And I'm gonna kind of space them out a little bit, but you can add as many as you like on your wreath. Just like if you were decorating a wreath in real life, which I must say, I think that this painted version is much easier. Wreaths are very fun to create, and I've been teaching painting classes for quite a while, both online, but also for a while I did it in person. And I used to do a wreath class, and it was never as popular as the painting classes, but we did have some good times nonetheless. Used to do crafts. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a craft class every once in a while, or if you prefer the painting. All right, now I'm gonna take a little bit of white and just highlight each one of these tiny little holly berries. And you don't want to cover all the red, so you may need to come back in some areas and add some more red back on top. if you went too heavy-handed in any area. Okay, so just like so. Making those a little bit smaller. Okay, how pretty is that? So simple, so cute. I think that they look like cookies. Made me hungry the whole time that I was creating these. All right, and now we're just gonna do our word. I'm gonna use the word joy, and that is honestly just because I have a very small space to work with, but you're welcome to try to write anything that you want. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. But I'm just gonna go with the smallest Christmas word that I can think of, which is going to be the word joy. And I'm just going to do that in some basic kind of freehand cursive. So I'm just doing a J here, like so, and I'm just allowing this to be in my handwriting, and that's gonna be just fine. And a cursive O, and a nice Y, just like so. I think that's very festive and simple and cute, and I've given my friends ornaments many years in a row. I hope they like them. But I do think it's something a little bit more special than, you know, something that you buy in a store. And I think that these will look great on your own tree as well. All right, I think I'm gonna do one more little highlight there on my bow. So cute. All right, you can put any other finishing touches that you'd like on your ornaments, but that is all the instruction that I have for us this week. So let me know what you thought of today's tutorial in the comments section below. If you painted along today, I would love to see your work, and I've created a Facebook group called the Art Club, where my students can share their work, whether it be from painting along with me or from their own imaginations and studios. I would love to see you over there. There's a link in the description box below to join that. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more ornaments, or if you were kind of bummed that it wasn't a full painting tutorial today on a normal canvas. So love to hear your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit like if you liked this tutorial. And until next time, stay creative.